Waiting for this. Okay, there we go. Always have to wait for it to finish loading. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. It's Wednesday. Plot twist, I'm not hungry. I just had lunch because we're making cookies, and that's not lunch. It could be. I won't judge. It could be lunch. We are making chocolate chip cookies. These chocolate chip cookies are they are paleo, which means there are no grains and no dairy and no refined sugar, so it's a health food. If you want to call it a health food, I will let you call it a health food. There are also no eggs in this. This is an experiment. I've never done baking without eggs before, unless in a recipe that just inherently doesn't have eggs. So we're going to find out how things work with a flax egg. We'll get into it. The book that we are cooking from today, I can't show you the cover. I'm actually on Hoopla today. This book is available at a couple of libraries in Buckles, but I found it on Hoopla when I was browsing just for a little something different. It is called Bakerita. It is by Rachel Connors, and her whole book is just about really good baking that happens to be gluten-free and dairy-free, and I'd say a majority of the recipes are also vegan, so they don't have eggs. So if you have an egg allergy or you're vegan, these recipes are great for you as well. So we're going to do the cookies. I've already pretty much measured out all of my ingredients. Let's see. So what I have here, as I put my computer on Do Not Disturb, sorry. What I have here in my bowl, I already have some coconut sugar already measured out. And then I have some, instead of butter, right? So normally you think of you're going to cream your sugar and your butter. Instead of butter, I have coconut oil. And it says that it should be at room temperature, which, you know, coconut oil, that, depending on the day and the season, these are very different things. It's a little warm in here today. I have the fan on. You might see the parchment paper blowing in the breeze a little bit. I do have my fan on because it's a little warm in here today because my oven is preheating to 350. So I have my coconut oil, my coconut sugar. The recipe, by the way, if you are interested in these cookies, is on our website right now. And of course, the cookbook is on Hoopla, so you don't have to wait for it. It's right there. It's free for you. If you haven't set up Hoopla yet and you need some help, let me know. I'd be so happy to help you. But yes, so it's on Bakerita and it's on our website right now for this week. So the first thing I have to do is I have to cream my sugar and butter my coconut oil. So go ahead and just put this in here. I don't know if this bowl's going to be big enough, but this is what I had. What I really should have done is I just wasn't really planning ahead that well. And we're going to make, while these are baking, we're going to make another little snack. And I put that one in an unnecessarily large bowl. And this one's in a small bowl. Sorry that the lighting is a little weird. Again, we're on my computer today because I have Hoopla up, and that doesn't really work so well when you're filming on your phone and trying to cook from it. So, like a cookbook. All right, so we're just going to cream this together until it's nice and smooth. This thing is pretty loud, but here we go. This mixer is one of these like grocery store brand mixers. It is cheap as can be, and the lowest setting is way stronger than a mixer that I had probably back in college. I think I got this one after college. It's just flying everywhere. And again, this bowl isn't big enough, so I'm going to have to clean later. It's fine. It's for cookies. It's okay. It's like kind of crumbly. Right now it's crumbly. Can you see it? It kind of looks like very, very wet sand. Yeah, there's sugar everywhere. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Deliciously fun. Yeah, because it says at room temperature. So you know when it's warm, Your coconut oil in your pantry is going to be liquid. In the winter, it's going to be solid, unless you have I forget what it's called when it's already liquid no matter what, which is pretty interesting, but I like to use this one. Just it says until smooth. Then we add the flax egg and some vanilla and continue to mix until smooth. So I might need to use a spatula to help us along here, smoothing this out. But yeah, what does room temperature mean for coconut oil? What does that mean? Because it's a little different depending on the season. If this were winter and I'm trying to cook with this coconut oil, it would be so solid. It's a little soft because, like I said, it is warm in here and we are by this oven, just heating up. Try again. Okay, that was loud and annoying, sorry. But that did help. Don't be afraid to get in there with a spatula. You can also use a stand mixer. I didn't feel like rearranging my countertop for my stand mixer right now because I'm not going to be using it the whole time. Okay, so here's my flax egg, which is like a tablespoon of ground flaxseed to 2.5 tablespoons of water. And I believe it is the equivalent of, let's see, it is the equivalent of 1 large egg. If you are using eggs, if you're not vegan and you want to use eggs for this recipe, just make sure that it's at room temperature because we don't want it to mess with this coconut oil. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that. And then also 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So let me just get this. So look, it's kind of like jelly and thick. So the flaxseed gets really, really thick once you mix it with the water. So you kind of let it sit for minimum 10 minutes. It says. Mine's been sitting for a while because it does take me some time to prep for our book cooks time together. Okay. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Use real vanilla extract. It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, here we go. 1 teaspoon. And then we're going to mix it. I just love the smell of vanilla extract. It's amazing. And it's so flavorful, and you can just add it to so many things to do like a easy flavoring without adding a bunch of sugar or whatever. All right, here we go. Let's mix it again. All right. So here's what it looks like right now. Good. We'll just spin off some of this. Right, it's my favorite way to get it off of the beaters. Okay. Also, super wonderful is the fact that this doesn't have any flour or eggs in it. And you know, flour and eggs both need to be heat treated. That's why, you know, you can't have raw cookie dough. I'm going to have some raw cookie dough. Anyway. Okay, let's see. So now we need 2 1/4 cups of blanched almond flour. We're going to add the almond flour, some baking soda, and some salt. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. I've already measured out my almond flour, and I have my baking soda over here. 1/2 teaspoon. Gotta do that first before I forget. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon. Baking soda gets a really good workout in my kitchen because I use it for cleaning a lot. This is probably one of the first times in a while that I've used baking soda for baking. Alright, so put that in. Alright, you can go back here, my friend. Add in my almond flour and my salt. Very full bowl. Very full bowl. It's okay. And some salt. All right, let's see how much salt do I need. About half a teaspoon of salt. Calls for kosher salt. I'm using this Himalayan sea salt. There is a difference, but I'm not getting scientific here. Open up. Open up without flying everywhere. That's not a crust. Okay, that's a good amount. And we're going to mix it. I'm going to use the spatula now to mix it. And then we're going to fold in the chocolate. Fold it in. Okay. I'm going to do it with the spatula. I think it's going to be easier that way. There you go. You can see it good. Just want everything to be well incorporated. We don't want any pockets of almond flour chunks. We want to make sure that salt gets through everywhere. So there are no pockets of salt or baking soda. That's gross. All right, so far it looks like cookie dough. I don't think I've ever made paleo chocolate chip cookies before. I've done gluten-free several times, of course. They always come out great. Alton Brown has a really good gluten-free chocolate chip cookie recipe that I use. Comes out great every single time because science. Alright, like I said, I'm just trying to make sure that I get all the ingredients kind of wet and incorporated. There are some chunks of almond flour that I'm trying to break up. You want to make sure you really get all the way down to the bottom of the bowl too, so that you're not leaving anybody behind. Even if you're using a stand mixer, good practices is to every now and then stop your mixer and just fold it in, because sometimes if you have like a really liquidy batter, things can pool at the bottom. Even with, you know, a good stand mixer, that still happens. Or scrape down the sides, you still gotta stop a little bit. So this is my batter so far. Now we get to fold in the chocolate. These are my favorite refined sugar-free, dairy-free chocolate chips. These are like a nice dark chocolate, my favorite. I'm just gonna incorporate that, and I chopped it up myself, so there are some like really fine little chocolate shards, and there are some bigger pieces in here, so little differences in texture I felt was pretty fun. Oh my god, it looks like chocolate chip cookie dough. Look at that. It looks great. Okay. Pretty excited. And of course, I've already lined my trays with parchment paper. It's just a lot easier that way to do parchment paper. You know they're not going to stick. They're easy to transfer off so that they can cool, so that they don't over bake on a hot pan when you pull them out of the oven. Okay. I think that's it. Now we can roll them into balls and put them in the oven. Right, let's see. So at this point, you can cover the bowl with plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 1 hour or up to 48 hours to give the flavors time to settle. You can skip chilling the dough if you are short on time. So now we're going to go ahead and get our cookies going onto our prepared baking sheets. Avalanche. Okay. Here we go. Stay down. Okay. So it says, I mean, this recipe makes anywhere from like 15 to 20 cookies, depending on how big you make them. I would like to get a lot of cookies out of this. One, because less calories. Science. And two, so that I have them for longer. I don't know how much they're going to spread. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is just an experiment. Okay. I don't know. So we're just going to roll out these cookies and we're going to talk. We're going to chat. This will roll away from the edge because I'm just not sure if they spread, right? Like, I don't know. these already feel pretty soft, which is why you should chill them. And they're probably going to spread a lot because they're already soft and they're not chilled. More science, so especially, you know, doesn't matter if you're cooking with coconut oil or butter. When you chill your cookies, your fat solidifies, when your cookie dough, your fat solidifies again. So when it goes into the oven, it spreads out slower, it melts slower. When it's already melted, it just goes. So we'll see what happens. All right, 6. This first tray done. We'll put 2 trays in together. It says it takes 10 to 12 minutes, so at about the 5-minute mark, I'm going to rotate my trays. Obviously, my tray on the bottom, I have a gas oven. My tray on the bottom gets a lot hotter than the tray on the top, so, you know, we like to rotate. Okay, so what you're supposed to do with these cookies is you are supposed to press them down a little bit, furthering the spread here, I see. And then sprinkle with a little bit of salt on top if you would like. I don't think I'm going to. Maybe I'll do it on one tray and not the other just because, I don't know, I kind of like just kind of want to see what's going to happen. Okay. So that's one tray. Not ready yet. Not ready yet. I gotta put them in at the same time. I'll do the bigger tray next. So that was 9 on that one. Hey. Oh, breezy. Breezy, breezy, breezy in here. Yeah, I'm kind of not making them all uniform sizes, so I don't know. You can use a cookie scoop, an ice cream scoop, so you get uniform, or a spoon. I'm just eyeballing it. If you really, really want to go crazy and make them perfect, you can go ahead and use a food scale. Oh, see, these might spread a lot because of the oil. So yeah, I mean, I could chill them, but here we are live. We don't have time to chill. And I did not pre-make some, and it's already chilling in the fridge. Don't need that many cookies in my house, as much as I love cookies. I'm trying to think if I have like another favorite cookie. I mean, I make just basically like butter cookies for Christmas every year that have the cutout shapes. I do them every year, and I ice them. I do trees and snowflakes and whatnot. I did the video last November, end of November, beginning of December. So it's on our YouTube, and it's on like way, way back on our Facebook page if you are curious. I like to do pinwheel cookies. They have like the chocolate and vanilla swirl. Those are really fun. I didn't do them last year, but they're so delicious. I can actually get more than 20 because I'm being a little stingy here. That's all that my oven's going to fit. So I am going to put the little bit that's still in here. I can probably get like another 5, 6 cookies out of this. I'm going to put that in the freezer, and then I'll do that. All right, so I'm just going to get a little bit of salt for this batch, just to see if I like it. And press it down. A little bit of salt. Press it down, a little bit of salt. Just to see. If you have one of these salt grinders like I have, you can actually change it to like how coarse you want it. I'm just doing a little sprinkling. I'm really not doing a lot, but I have mine kind of on a medium setting, and I never change it back and forth because I know I'll always forget. But you can change it, or you can just get those fancy sea salt flakes that you can actually already buy in containers, and they're great for dressing your dishes or whatnot. So I can pull my little thermometer out here. One going right here and one going on the bottom. And like I said, I'll do a little flip halfway through. Okay. We will see what happens. Very curious. Okay, so 12:23, so about 12:28, I will go ahead and flip them. I'm going to put this into chill. Okay, I found room in the freezer. So the next thing, see, really large bowl. For the next thing, we're gonna make these like energy bites is what they're called. They're salted brownie energy bites. Figured we have time while these are cooking, why not? So she says, sometimes you want a snack that will give you an energetic boost, but you also want it to taste like dessert. Who doesn't? That's where these energy bites come in. They're loaded with healthy fats from cashew butter or any nut butter that you use. I'm using almond butter. And the almond flour fuels you and keeps you full. Cacao powder, which is really good for you. Vanilla, chocolate chips mixed in to make it taste like a dessert. And don't forget a sprinkle of flaky salt on top to garnish. I'm also adding a little bit of protein powder. I don't know how that's going to affect the texture, but just so that they're also not just having the fats to make you feel satiated if you're looking for a little bite, a little snack, but the protein also helps keep you full and fuels you as well. So, yeah, that's not in the recipe, but I'm doing that anyway. This recipe is not on our website, but it is on the book. Again, it's on Hoopla right now for immediate checkout. So in here, I already have half a cup of almond butter, right? I'm using almond butter. And I have some pure maple syrup, 1/4 of a cup already measured out. So we're going to mix these together. Put this away and get a clean one. So we're going to mix these together. Right? We're looking for pure maple syrup. We don't want maple syrup that's just corn syrup and refined sugar. That's the opposite of what we're trying to do here. It just has a different effect on your body and your blood sugar. So we want to try to keep it natural and healthy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just mix these together. It's delicious already. Can you see it? No, I'll pull it back a little bit. There you go. Just get this well incorporated. It smells great already. Oh, is my almond butter salted? I should check and see if my almond butter is salted, because then I don't need to add any salt to this. Let's check. Yes. Okay. This almond butter is salted. I prefer it. It just tastes better. I usually just have almond butter like on top of my apples or my fruit or whatnot. So I'm not going to add any extra salt. You do have to add at some point like 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt or whatever salt you have. So I'm not going to do that. And then it does say like you can taste it and add more salt if you prefer. I'm not going to do that. Now we're going to stir in the almond flour, cacao powder, and vanilla and chocolate chips. So let's see. I need 1 cup of almond flour. So I'm actually going to grab my bowl and measure it out. I'm being really precise. It's 96 grams. When you're baking, using a food scale is really awesome. You'll see that on a lot of bakers' blogs, or especially if you follow Alton Brown's recipes. Again, that all I learned from cooking, I learned from him. And to measure things out on a food scale, especially when you're baking or making desserts, gives you the most precise results. So I'm going to do that on my food scale. Here's my almond flour, in case you're like, what is that? Really easy to find anywhere, super common nowadays. No more, no more. So this is, that's my almond flour. And then I need 24 grams of cacao powder. So I'm just going to put this right on in. I'm going to do my cacao powder and then I'm going to check on the cookies because we're about halfway through baking. Maybe my oven's a little weird. You never know with my oven. Okay, let's do cacao powder next. So this is what that is. It's different from cocoa powder. It's less refined, less treated, so it has more of the antioxidant benefits that you find in chocolate. Chocolate is a health food. You're welcome. All right, just a little bit. There it is. That goes in here next. And it's very fine, too. Okay. What did I say comes next? Do we need to add vanilla? Is that what we're doing? Vanilla and the chocolate chips. We are doing half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and about an ounce of chocolate. So let's see, get my vanilla again. Oh, I need to check on my cookies. Okay. Oh, they look good. Okay. Looking good so far. Really excited. They look good so far. They definitely need more time, but they look like cookies, and that chocolate is nice and melty and scrumptious. This is the one with the salt on it, I think. I don't know. It looks like it. Okay. Close it up. I'm gonna say they need another 7 or so minutes, so 12:38. Check again. Half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I need to not forget my protein powder because that's what I'm doing to this to make it special for me. That's special for me, protein. Okay. Half a teaspoon. Just a little bit because we have that maple syrup, so we don't need overwhelming flavor, but we do like flavor. I'm going to grab my chocolate chips and my protein powder. Chocolate chips. Yay! And this is the protein powder that I use for things like this. It's a collagen protein. Just depends on what you're looking for out of your protein. I do have another kind of protein that's a more complete protein. It's made from egg whites and beef. So that doesn't sound very good, does it? But it doesn't taste like anything. And that's the kind of protein that I add to like smoothies to like make myself feel full. All right. You're not here for an education on protein powder, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Not really. So we're going to stir that up. See, it's a nice pile of stuff. I'm going to stir it up, and then you just make it into these little bites. You just roll it up. They're like little power truffles. All right. Just want to get everything like a dough. Everything needs to get moistened up so that it sticks together. There we go. It's coming, it's coming. And for this one, we're just using our spatula to help get rid of any lumps. You don't need anything to kind of whip up, so the spatula is just good enough here. I don't know if adding the protein powder is going to affect my need for liquid, but so we still got more time for those cookies. It smells really good in here right now. It smells like vanilla and, well, right now I can smell the salted almond butter really well. Oh, there we go, it's coming together. Just get all of these chunks out. Like, can you see there's still some white chunks? Yeah, like right there. That's just a pure chunk of almond flour, and while it doesn't taste bad, it's not like getting a big chunk of baking soda or something. You know, we want our taste to be nice and uniform, so I'm just going to break that up with the tip of my spatula and keep mixing. This does look like brownie batter, that's for sure. Again, because there are no eggs and there's no refined flour in here, don't need to worry about this being heat treated or not, so I can go ahead and taste my batter, and this is where I decide if I do need to add salt or not. There's also a recipe in the same chapter in this book that is similar to this, but like chocolate chip cookie dough, like edible chocolate chip cookie dough. So it's a little different than this cookie dough that's in the oven. All right, let's see, let's have a little taste. It's good. It does need a little salt. Does it though? No, I can taste the salt in the almond butter. I don't need it. Wow, that's so chocolatey. Kind of at first you taste it and it's good, and then the chocolate starts to melt on your tongue and it hits. It's really good. So it says this can make 16 or so bites depending on how you roll them. And then you can sprinkle with some more sea salt on top, just like with those cookies. Serve now, or refrigerate for at least 45 minutes to give them time to firm up and the flavors to develop. You can also make a peppermint brownie bite by taking out the extra salt on top and removing the vanilla extract and subbing it for peppermint extract. So if you were looking for like a thin mint-inspired power bite, you could do that. This is very chocolatey, so that would definitely be great. All right. All right, I'm going to get a bowl that I'm going to roll these into, and that's what I'll use to store them. There's still some white in here. Just kind of mush it up, let it absorb the moisture. And I put protein in here. I feel very accomplished. Okay, let me get a bowl for this. Okay. Or giant glass Tupperware. Still have like another 2 minutes on these cookies here. I'm going to just start rolling these into little bites. Look at that. That's it. And again, you can put some flaky sea salt on top of that if you would like. Ooh, I can smell. Ooh, I just got a nice whiff of those cookies. It's 2. Yeah, I mean, I could measure these out and weigh them, but I'm not going to do that. I do have my limits. Of course, today happens to be, I think, the hottest day this week, and I said to myself, we're going to turn on the oven today. That's why I have the fan going. It's okay. It's all good. I'm sure that my parents are watching this very excited, knowing that these chocolate chip cookies are going to go in their house afterwards. You're welcome. It does look and feel like brownie batter. don't think it would bake up. I'm no scientist. I have to follow a recipe. I'm definitely not the kind of person who can make a recipe unless it's cooking. Baking, that's not what I can do. Not in my skill set. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count them out so I know what my portions are. So I'm definitely going to get more than. She wants them to be bigger. These are big. They're big, I think. They're like triple sized. Yeah, I would not make them any bigger for myself. They're very rich. They're delicious. From just the little tiny taste of batter that I had. But I feel like this size is good enough. I don't know if I would really make them bigger. Alright, we're going to look at those cookies in a moment. Almost done here. I lost count. I think this is 16, likely, maybe. Oh, that's a little bit. It's not too bad. Alright, so the last one's going to be kind of big. Alright, can I make this too? Nah, we'll make this last one a nice big one. Or do I have a small one in here that needs a little love? Maybe this guy. Okay, so there we go. Alright, let's check on the cookies. Ooh! Oh yeah, they're firming up. And they're a little brown on the edges. This here. And we're going to pull these out. Ready to see them? There they are. And the air conditioning just turned on. It's a little warm in here. Okay. These, they look good. They look great. This here, put it up. Alright, so I will have to do the next batch, so I'm going to leave that on. They're a little hot, so I don't know how I'm going to taste them right now, but that's what they look like. They look really good. Let's go ahead and try one of these at least. These are our salted brownie bites. I added a little protein to them. That's who I am. I bet they taste even better when they're firmed up and cool in the fridge. That's where you're supposed to store them, in the fridge, but wow. These are delicious. And they're full of healthy fats and protein, if you add the protein powder. Wow, they're very chocolatey. Because I use the salted almond butter, the salt kind of hits your tongue and it breaks up some of the richness. If you don't use a salted nut butter, whether it's cashew butter or almond butter or whatever it is that you're using, I do recommend that you sprinkle the salt on the top because it just breaks up some of that richness and just creates these little pockets of like explosion. So I do recommend the salt on the top. Wow. That's really good. Healthy? Okay. I'm going to put that to the side, this in the sink. Let's move some stuff around a little bit. Put that in the sink. rolling rack. Let me just pull these here. Yeah, they're still a little soft because they're so hot. And it's so hot in here. But these, oh wow, look at that. They're definitely a little crispy on the edge and soft in the center, which is, to me, the perfect cookie. A little crispy on the edge and nice and soft in the center. All right, so these are really warm, so this is going to be not exactly how they're going to taste once they're cooled, but I really want to know. Ooh, look at the texture inside, right? We're judging this because it's a paleo cookie. No flour, no eggs. Let's see. It's chewy. Oh, there's a little pocket of salt that I just got from I used, a coarser salt than like a table salt, and that's kind of why we like kosher salt for baking as well. I don't know, I guess maybe it's the coconut sugar is more akin to brown sugar than regular white refined sugar. So, and you put brown sugar in chocolate chip cookies, and that also helps to make them chewy. So I think it's the coconut sugar that's in here that's making it really nice and chewy. It's really good. I'm very intrigued by the texture, and I don't know, we'll see what it's like when it cools down. This is good. It's kind of nutty, it's very chocolatey. I'm really into the texture. And these are the ones that we did not chill the batter beforehand, so I'm interested to see how the ones that I do chill look. I think these are the ones with the salt on them. Maybe even that one. I think that's the one that has the salt on it. That's why I got the little pocket of salt, so I do recommend topping them with a little salt. It's amazing. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to finish making the rest of the cookies with my chilled dough. I'll share some pictures on social media. If you're looking for cookies to make, whether it's because you're on a healthy, natural food journey or you know somebody who has allergies, obviously not good for nut allergies, sorry, but if you can't have grains, glutens, eggs, or milk, this is a really good recipe, so don't forget to check out. It's on Hoopla, and it is available on bccls.org through a couple of our member libraries. This is the Bakerita cookbook by Rachel Connors. I am going to go enjoy my snacks. Like I said, I'm really glad that I ate lunch early. I don't feel so bad about having some cookies. All right, I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.